Good morning and welcome to another episode of Moms in Real Estate in the Morning with myself and Kristen Cantrell and our in-house money expert, Danielle Mckinley. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
I'm excited to be back, and I'm even more excited because I feel like something that we've been seeing in our community, Danielle, is like a desire. So we've kind of seen two things. The people that are like, you know what, I've given it my shot, I'm going to tap out. Like people are just kind of coming to that realization. But excitingly, we're seeing a lot more of like, okay, that's it. I'm going to go all in on the fourth quarter. I'm going to get focused. I'm going to get dialed in, and I'm going to win my 2026. And I think that that's perfect because one of the things that you're offering is a 3-day State of the Union challenge. And so real quick, for anybody watching that doesn't know, Danielle is our in-house money expert. She can walk you through everything from life insurance to the State of the Union, which is really learning how to count your money and assign your money. And so you're going to have a challenge going. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. So it's really your money muscle challenge. Okay. So it's like going to the gym for the first time. If you're like Randy was saying, it's been an interesting season in the real estate market, right? So if you're going at it, like I'm going to go all in the fourth quarter, one of the things that you want to go all in on is really starting to plan and give your dollars a job. Because when you have these highs and lows like you do in this industry, it's really important that you're future planning so that when you do have a lull, you're not stressed out about your funds. So in the challenge, there's a lot of different things that are going to happen. Number one, you're going to discover like, what is my belief system around money? And that is the foundation of everything because our subconscious is deep. It's buried, and we sometimes don't realize that we're operating from a subconscious script or a subconscious belief. So step one is really getting comfortable and familiar with what your money story is. And then we can start to work your money muscle so that you can build your money mindset, which is your present. That story or what you adopted when you were younger doesn't have to be what's running the show today. And then we can start to implement the tactical stuff that the challenge gives you.
Yeah. And I have to give a testimony to the challenge because I've been in it and I've been doing Danielle's work for a year now. And one thing, if you're sitting there and you're like, I just feel so much shame around money or embarrassment, like when you go into Danielle's rooms, like you won't feel that at all. You'll feel so like open to share and supported and realize you're not alone. So I feel like there's got to be somebody listening that's like, I can't even start that. And like, I'm not going to go into around women that I don't know and share this, but you absolutely will. And it will absolutely impact you.
Yeah. Yeah. And the start of it too is like, you don't have to be, it's you, like you got to go in and you got to start it on your own. It's a digital format where you're in your own privacy and you get to start to really unpack this. And if you're doing what Randy said, this is something you want to add in because if you can master your money, you can master developing and building freedom. And it starts with you making a choice that, hey, I don't need to be the expert. You don't need to become a financial advisor or a money mentor like me, but you got to have a baseline confidence about money. And you have to be in the driver's seat of deciding what job your dollars are getting and what job you're giving to the experts you're enlisting, like a bookkeeper or a tax strategist, things like that.
Yeah. And sorry, Randy, real quick. One other thing, if you aren't making money yet, okay, so let's say you just got your real estate license, absolutely do this too, because like, holy crap, would you be ahead of the ball? Like 100%, this is for everybody. Okay, sorry, Randy.
That's exactly what I was going to say is like, do not allow where you are. Don't feel like you're too far advanced that, like you can't learn something and, learn how to be more financially savvy. And don't also feel like you're too much of a newbie. But the second component I was going to talk about is the workbook. So you kind of mentioned that it's a digital asset. So the workbook is obviously packed with templates and actionable steps that keep people on track. But can you just briefly talk about that a little bit, Danielle?
Yeah, so the workbook actually gives you a ton of resources. So it gives you a step-by-step guide for how to run your first 5 SOTUs. So it's a monthly money meeting that you have with yourself. And it breaks down exactly what to do. So to Kristen's point, where you're like, if you're feeling that ick and you're like, oh, I just like don't know where to start, it's going to give you a roadmap and a blueprint that you can follow to get comfortable with it and really ease in. And then it also is going to include a checklist of all the financial documents that you should be looking at. When you see it, if you look at it and you're like, oh shit, I don't have any of this stuff, Don't worry about it. It is meant to grow with you, and it's meant to be your blueprint of like, okay, these are the things that I should start to put together, but in no way is it meant to overwhelm you. We'll start with a cash flow tracking app, because the number one thing is not budgeting. You can't budget if you don't know your numbers, right? You can't create a good plan if you don't know what's happening. So you start with understanding what's coming in and what's going out at a very basic level. And I like to do this on a formulated spreadsheet. That's just how I like to work. But there's also an app called Copilot. I'm not affiliated with it in any way, but it is something, if you prefer the digital way, you can do it with that as well. And then you can couple in the guide that's in the workbook.
So good. And I do think it's just so important because even when you start to build these muscles, there's just, you don't know what you don't know, right? And so this will help you to make sure you don't miss anything. And then the next component is there is an exclusive private community and experience, right, that comes along with this.
Yeah. So my programs are all under the brand Harmony Hustler. So, and it's all about being in harmony with the work that you're doing. I believe that balance is bullshit, but I do believe that you can find harmony anywhere. And in order to do big things, you do have to take action. So that's kind of where the name comes from. But there's a private community once you join in on the challenge, where you can message each other. You can find a SOTU buddy if you need someone to help you be accountable. And everybody in that space, it's a safe space for sharing your money story, asking questions, and understanding that you're all there with the same goal of trying to build that money muscle.
Yeah. And if your money issues are as like deep rooted as mine, you could do a weekly SOTU like I do still to this day.
Yep. And you get like also exclusive access to, once you do the challenge, if you want like a one-on-one with me to help really map your strategy and that sort of thing, you can. And one other thing that I'd love to mention is I've really expanded the scope of the impact that SOTU brings. So if you're listening to this and you have a team and you're like, my gosh, my team really, in real estate, the money story stuff is so prevalent. So if you want to give back to your team and you want to get a tax deduction before the year end, I have teams and businesses that are now purchasing the 3-day challenge and giving it to their team as a team benefit or as an employee benefit to really help them find a resource that when you implement it, I guarantee you will make more money after 12 months. And Kristen, you've been doing it for a year, so she could attest to it.
But let's unpack that for a second. So as a team leader myself, I think that's hugely valuable. And I've said this for a really long time. I told the people that I was in business with about a year ago, maybe even about 18 months ago, I was like, the landscape of real estate is changing, and agents are going to expect more of the people that they go into alignment and partnership with. And really, even with my business, my business really it's a business in a box. It's like buying into a very well-established, successful franchise, and they get to come in and operate their franchise, and we do everything on the back end. So I love that idea, but talk to me what that looks like. Does that look like, okay, I'm giving them a workbook that they have to navigate, or does that mean that they get the exclusive community? Like, how would I say to my agents, tell me how I would tell them that, like, here's what this means for you.
Yeah, so they would get everything. And so how it would work is you would just say, hey, Danielle, I want to give this to my team. And they'll be set up as the individual. They'll get all the same resources that I just mentioned prior, but they're getting it completely for free. So the team lead, the broker, you, in your case of the example you're using, you're purchasing that for them. And then they're getting lifetime access to it and lifetime access to the community. And you're taking the tax deduction by giving that to your team as a benefit.
So good. A couple things here. Number one, in our moms in real estate community, while the bulk of our moms are agents in the business, real estate agents, this would also apply to transaction coordinators, title officers. I mean, really, this is across the board, any industry, any business. And so the outcomes, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're going to come out with a clear financial system to track their income, their expenses, and their goals, a measurable 30-day financial action plan that's going to be tailored on their needs. And then a robust business contingency plan, right? So that they can plan for the unexpected. Because I think that's one of the other things that's brutal in this industry is that we have such unexpected seasons, right? And then overall confidence in managing their financing and finances and taking charge of their financial future.
Yeah. So my big mission after discovering my money story is to truly help people master their money because it unlocks freedom. And we often in business, especially now, we're so inundated with buy this course, do this thing, get this workbook, do this, do that, do that. And then you're like, what moves do I actually make? But money and your money story, it ties into the foundation of everything, even how you receive love.
Yeah.
Like it goes that deep. So yeah, that's exactly right, is walking away with clarity and also with the understanding that like I am capable of building some confidence around money. And also I'm not alone. Like the amount of shame that we all feel, all of us, including myself when going through it about money, is we're all in it together. And it's all there. It's just not talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because money's taboo.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think too, something that you kind of alluded to is not just like how we feel about money, but also understanding what the money can do. So it's like a lot of agents will lead with saying in our community, like, oh, I've only sold 8 houses or I've only sold 12 houses. And I think that the only comes from this expectation where they think that they have to do something different. And, 12 houses can be a very strong 6-figure income. And I think one of the things that happens inside of the real estate industry is we get so conditioned to these insane numbers. Like we all know an agent that's making, a 6 figures a month or something. And so we get conditioned to that. And I think it's really important to be aligned with people in the financial world that can also help you understand you're doing better than the masses, or you actually, and in real estate, it's one of the only industries where we're not seeing a 1 or 2% a year raise. If we want to, we can see a 30 or 40 or 50% a year raise, right? But in our community, we want to teach moms to how to do more with less. And this is one of those opportunities, like coming alongside Danielle, you might realize I don't actually need to sell 4 more houses. I could raise my price point and sell less houses, or I could just better assign my money and watch it, and I am perfectly where I need to be. And so I think that that's also really important for us to understand that, most of us don't need more money. We need better money management.
Yeah. And one thing I'll point out too, because I see this often with agents specifically, is that they're conditioned to save, because save the money, put the money there because you don't know when the next deal is going to come. And savings actually puts you into scarcity mindset. So the rich get rich because they leverage, and they're willing to make their money work for them. So they're thinking about, okay, I have this money. How do I give it a job so that it keeps making me money, versus putting it in a savings account that's not going to do anything with it. So if you're someone that is operating under that old belief system of like, okay, I closed the deal, I can't touch the money because I don't know when the next one's going to come, there's some really fun stuff that'll be unlocked for you in just going through the SOTU challenge in general, and then starting to get more strategic and think about it. You wouldn't hire a TC without a background in transaction coordination, right? You wouldn't hire an assistant who's not willing to like run errands on the fly because you don't know what your day looks like. Think about your money the same way. What jobs are you assigning it? Are you assigning it the job of putting it in your savings account and it's just sitting there? How is that working out? And when you start to flip the script on how am I assigning the roles to my dollars, you start to look at money so different.
Love that.
So good. So in case you ladies don't know, Danielle is obviously a successful entrepreneur. She's also a financial strategist, and she has had multiple 7-figure exits in her businesses before. And so we're not just bringing you anyone, we're bringing you the one who can help you with this stuff. So get in there. How do they sign up for this? Because I'm sure there's people that are like, all right, sign me up. So how do they do that, Danielle?
I'll get you guys a link for it. So it's normally $97. I do it for $33. 3 is my favorite number. And I want it to be accessible for anyone and everyone so they can start to build that foundation. So I'll give you the link. We can drop it in the recap. And if anyone has questions too, reach out to me. I love talking about money and freedom and helping you just feel good about how you're showing up every day.
Awesome. We'll put the link under this video in the Facebook group.
Yep. And if you're getting it in the email, just watch the replay and it'll be here too. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
Bye,
Bye guys.